Welcome back to 843 TV. Lizzie Means joins me again, and we're now joined by Dr. Nick Ithamides, who's head of school here at Bridges Preparatory School. Thank you for joining us.
Yep, no problem.
So we've been talking about this trip to China.
Yeah.
And kind of tell us about the evolution of that trip.
Well, I have a contact that I've worked with for 7 years, and I got an email about a month ago saying, would you like to go speak at a conference in Beijing? I said, sure. I'd like to bring some people with me. I started with 2 teachers. Then she said, bring some kids.
Yeah.
I said, how many? She said 6. Next thing she said, bring as many as you want. She was partnering with a group called Mind Education Technologies Limited in Beijing, which is a private organization. They paid for all of our expenses in China.
Wow.
Food, hotels, transportation, picked us up at the airport, flew us to Chongqing. They spent quite a bit of money to make our stay there very pleasurable. So we just had to get airline tickets and visas, and we were there.
And we talked a little bit earlier about how the visas were a challenge.
Getting a Chinese visa is a difficult challenge. We had one parent, thank goodness, Shannon Johnson, who flew back and forth to Washington, D.C. 4 times because you cannot mail your visa applications, and they keep sending her back.
Wow.
Fortunately, her husband's a pilot. She got free tickets, but she stayed over. Without her, we would have never made it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Lizzie was one of the teachers you brought with you all. Mm-hmm. How do you think the whole thing went?
I personally thought it was great. The purpose for doing this is to get kids and staff to have a different awareness outside their own comfort zone.
Yeah.
You can't appreciate another culture or people until you actually go there and see them and visit them and learn the good and the bad about that.
Yeah.
And it also makes kids, and I think Lizzie can probably answer, by the time you get back, you're more appreciative of where you came from.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We tell the students here how fortunate they are to live in America, and seeing them actually immersed in a different culture, that's when it really starts to sink in. And I think we heard the students say, oh my gosh, I can't imagine seeing my parents only once a week.
Right.
Or I can't imagine having to wake up and go to school from 8 to 10 at night. And so I think they were all a little more aware of how lucky they are when they came back.
No, absolutely. So, Dr. Ithamides, as we look towards the future of Bridges Preparatory School, is this something that you're going to try to integrate into the program?
Well, we are well underway with developing a comprehensive international program. We want to put Bridges on the map, just not on the map in Beaufort, South Carolina, but we want to put our footprint across the world. So the board has been very supportive, the staff has been supportive, the parents are very on board.
Sure.
We already have another cultural trip planned to Greece next November with a sister city school in Thessaloniki, the Pinewood School in Thessaloniki. We have a student exchange already arranged with a school in Genoa, the International School of Genoa. They'll be sending us kids. They'll be living with our families, and our kids will be going living in Genoa for about 10 to 12 days. We have partnerships in Scotland. We'll be sending at least 2 members of the staff to Scotland to work on a co-curricular project with the Scots. We're going to send 2 teachers to Greece to work with the Pinewood School on areas of mutual interest. We're going to do the same thing with Genoa. We have pretty good lead on a school in Spain that we're going to be developing. So, as I said, the mission of Bridges is to prepare kids for life beyond high school, and to be global citizens is really part of our mission. So we want to have a very strong academic focus, but we also want to give kids life experiences they can't get in a classroom.
Right.
And so that's the purpose for the international program.
And Lizzie, have you seen that? I mean, with the kids who went to China, have you seen kind of their eyes open?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. When you take them to these places that they've read about in a textbook or learned about in social studies class, it's totally different when they actually are standing on the Great Wall and realizing that this was something that was constructed hundreds of years ago. Yeah,
kind of an awareness beyond the minutia of their everyday life here in Beaufort, and wherein some of the challenges that they may face on a daily basis may not seem so.
And it also breaks down stereotypes. I mean, we all have an impression of what the Chinese are like, or what the Italians are like, or what the Greeks are like, or the Spanish are like, or the Scots. Some of it is probably accurate, but a lot of it's not accurate.
Yeah.
And so when kids and staff go out into these places, they really do begin to develop an appreciation for those cultures and those people. And the kids in China are still kids.
Right.
You know, and when I spoke at the conference, one of the things I spoke about was the purpose that we have in bringing the Chinese kids and American kids together is to find out how similar they are,
right, yeah.
not how different they
That's
are.
Right. That's
but
right.
So it's a really great opportunity for our community, and especially for our students.
No, absolutely. Building bridges.
There you go, bridges.
Here at Bridges Preparatory School. Well, I think it's a fantastic thing. Thank you for sharing your
Oh, no problem.
your
My pleasure.
insights and your trip. And Lizzie, thank you for joining us today. And thank you for watching 843 TV, where communities come to speak.